What if the world was nudist? Sometimes I like to imagine what our world would be like if some fundamental things were different. I think reading a lot of fantasy books does that, lol. I always rediscover that I'm stupid when I do this type of exercise with my friends, which I actually think is cool, lol. And I was curious to know how other people, besides them, think when they do this exercise. What I could think of was this. Nowadays, clothes are not as necessary as they were centuries ago. In addition to global warming and heaters, air conditioning, certain places in the world did not have this custom because the geography was not favorable, considering the pre-Columbian indigenous people. I think that if wearing clothes were optional, we would save a lot more on energy and water, at least in tropical countries, because we wouldn't need so many artificial methods to cool off. This, along with lower clothing consumption, would probably be environmentally good. I think in this case, in maybe 20 years, people would become less perverted. Psychologists explain that fetishes come from the desire to go get something because that something is forbidden. So if you see naked people all day and everywhere, would you really get aroused every time you go to the bakery? I think that by getting used to seeing complete beautiful bodies more often, we would feel less attracted to them, and that by seeing complete ugly bodies more often, we would get used to them to the point of accepting them better. I always found it strange and sometimes a little wrong, because it stigmatizes the thing that people perverted sex. That's because I'm not asexual or anything like that. I always saw it as something cute, like those shame that teenagers go through when dating. So I think that if we got used to our bodies, there would be so little to fetishize that it would be difficult for sex to be perverted. I think the most worrying issue would be hygiene, not because I think people would act disgusting in the street, but because sitting where someone else sat doesn't seem very hygienic to me. It's the only hygiene problem I've come across now. But I think that even out of disgust, people would always end up wearing a skirt or thong when going out on the street to avoid this. I can even imagine a type of waist cape where you have a rope around your waist and a square of cloth just at the back to sit on top of. Do you think it would be very bad? Do you think it would be good? How do you think it would be? Do you think there is any realistic way for this to happen? Do you know of any non-sexual work that deals with this?